until I get to the east side. And we are still staying south of the Kansas River, just to give you some perspective of where we are in Topeka. I'm going to visit the Topeka Cemetery. The Topeka Cemetery was established in 1859. It is on the Kansas and National Historic Register of Places. I told you the Topeka Cemetery was established in 1859. Now, it's the oldest chartered cemetery in Kansas. It was set up by a doctor, Dr. Crane, who donated the 80,000 acres. He put $20,000 of his own money into planting trees all over the property. And in the distance, I don't know how well you can see it, but that home was formerly their family home, which is now the Topeka Cemetery Association office. The family and a board of directors ran it for 100 years. Then it went 1959 to the Topeka Cemetery Association, which is basically run by a volunteer board of directors. They get some money from sales, a stipend from Topeka. They do tours, they do perpetual care. That's how they get their funding. But there's three interesting parts to this cemetery, and one is called Mausoleum Row, which is where I'm headed to right now. So I'm going to pull over and show you Mausoleum Row. They actually call this section the Hillside Family Monument, and there's a row of mausoleums all the way down. And if you see this hill here, all these mausoleums are inset into the ground. So everyone is actually buried in the ground, and they just have the fronts. Here's some very old steps. I would not go up. Again, you can see the hill here. And the first mausoleum here says the name of Sherman, and this was in 1891. So this is very old. And most of them have chains on them, so you can't open the doors. And I don't know how well you can see, but there's a bunch of flat fronts with names that are very faint because of the age of these stones. But you can see, I don't know how you can see how it's a stone roof to keep the ground from falling in. Very interesting. So that's one of the families that's here. They even put little seats here. Now here is another mausoleum. This one says 1890 on it. The family was Reed, but as you can see, we had a lot of rain here. All this is falling down. And that's just recent. Wow, that's really bad. And I just can't believe this. Look at how bad it is. Oh, that's sad. I was just talking to a gentleman. He told me that mostly it's probably limestone, it looks like, but not marble. Too expensive. But I can show you the door. Hopefully nothing is going to fall on me. This is another beautiful door. It's a metal door, but it has 4 panels on it. So they have a wheat, they have a person at rest, they have the dove, and then they have a wreath that says at rest. And I can't really see inside there, and I'm not tall enough to go up there really to look, but again, these are very old, and whoa, I'm going to fall if I'm not careful. There's a lot of stuff growing also, which does affect the limestone if they leave that hanging there. But that's all cracked. I was just here a couple of weeks ago, and that was not like that. This was not here. Here's another family. This was the Stanton family. Again, these have plain metal doors. This doesn't have anything falling down. This one says 1887, very, very faint. Again, there are some in there that are still, you can see the writing on them, but they're so old that it is pretty faint. Let me see. Wow. Oh, there's a good one. You can see that one, very good. So that's another one. This one isn't quite crumbling, thank God. But I can see here it lost a lot of stones out of there. I don't know if they removed them, they fell already on the ground, or if they are going to replace them. Some of that does look like it's already newer, but I could be wrong. Here's another one by Burns family, 1893. I don't know. Some of these stones look very, very unstable to me right now. So I'm just going to be careful. This one definitely cannot see or read anything. It actually looks like there's a wall, and then behind this scroll at the top is where possibly the crypts are. But I can't be sure, but I would think that's the way it is. Let's see. The next one in line is family Redden, and 1893. But this one you cannot see into the crypts at all. There is a metal, there's a screen, a metal plate actually in front here. So this one I cannot see anything in. This one is a lot fancier. This is the Price family. I'm going to see if I can find the year. I'm having trouble finding the year on this one. They do have a cross and a Jewish star, so they might have a dual religion family. One side is still covered with a plate, but they do have the columns, the red columns, and they do have two urns. There's nothing currently in either of them. Let me see what's inside. The one side, there is no plate. Again, the writing is extremely faint. You really can't see anything. But you can see the ceilings are all vaulted. And they all have a metal bar going through it in a couple of places holding it up, which is probably good so that it doesn't collapse. Now the next family says Moser. This one does have a year on it, 1896. This one again, can't see in. It has metal plates in front of the grating here, but it doesn't seem to be too much repair right now, which is good. Next is the Horn family. This one says 1912. This one has double columns, and it does have the plates in front of the door. The chain is holding it together, but I cannot read anything on these plates that are inside. Again, this one looks to be maybe in a little better condition. Still old, 1912. And here we have the Crane family. This one might be the Crane family who actually established this cemetery. I would think so. This one says 19, I can see the 12 behind all the floral here, the greenery. They also have it locked, and they have metal plates in front of it, so you cannot look in. And then we have the last one is the Mulvanes or Mulvaney. This one has a metal plate, but the one side is open, so I'm going to see what I can see in there. I do not see the year on the outside. Oh, this one you can see really good. Look at that. Look at that. How well you can see. You can see years. And this one is very clean, but you can see they've had, the last burial looks like it was 1950. 43. Yep, I think the one from 1950, there is 1936, and there is 1938. These people may be part of the Mulvaney Art Museum that is at Washburn University. I don't know for sure, but this is what they call Mausoleum Row, or the Hillside Family section. So these are the mausoleums, and right behind it is a bench with the name Hurley on it and a huge monument. And this is to James Edwin Hurley, who was died in 1910. It was a tribute to his memory from the employees of the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railway Company. I'm now going to drive to another portion of the cemetery. This is the site that does the green burials. As we drive along, though, you can see there are a number of freestanding mausoleums as well. So it's not just the ones in the hill. As I'm driving along in the distance, you really can't see it, but there's a little deer eating his food. And this is very much a park-like setting. So yes, animals do come in here because there's all green space right behind there. I just have to watch my tires. This road is not paved. It's just gravel with a bunch of rocks everywhere. Now everything was set up so families could be placed together with family headstones, and you'll see that there's always a large family name with a lot of them, and then the smaller headstones representing the families. So that's one of the things they did here. They don't have a rule, as far as I know, whether they has to be just flat stones if you want to be buried here now. They have, like I said, 35,000 people buried here right now, and the Topeka Cemetery Association, those are the people who own the plots and are buying plots. Those are the people that are running the cemetery essentially right now. So as you can see, all these stones are basically like the same. I'm not getting out, but I'm assuming it's going to be one family. I found the section. This is where they're doing the green burials. This is where people can either throw ashes or have a green burial where the body is not embalmed. It's encased either in a burlap wrapping or something that's biodegradable. And then they, have a little pathway. I'm not sure. There's no markers. Like I said, the body is going back into the earth. They may be buried in this circular area. I'm not sure, but unfortunately, a lot of the weeds. The grass is overtaking the border here, which is unfortunate. This is interesting. They just started doing them in 2024, so I'm not really sure how many people are interested in doing green burials right now. But this is their little section. It's unfortunate they don't have a seat or any place for you to sit and do any kind of reflection if you'd like to, but that's what it is. Maybe that's a suggestion, or maybe that's just a added cost they really couldn't come up with. Like I said, most of it is through donations and people buying plots and things like that. So they do have an area there where they can hold a funeral. So they do have gazebos. And they do have out in the distance areas where you can put an urn inside one of those little walls, which is nice. As I said, a lot of these trees were planted a very long time ago, and you can see that one out in the distance is not really doing too well. And there's another couple of trees that aren't doing too well, probably need to be removed. This area doesn't seem to have any raised stones, so maybe this is a section where they put only flat stones. I don't know if they have any rules about that. I couldn't find anything online about that. I do know it makes it easier for them to maintain the property and mow because they do not have to go around headstones. I'm just taking a ride to find the area where either the Veteran Cemetery is and where the Vice President of the United States that was buried here. So I think I found where the Vice President is buried because there is a big American flag. So let me get out and take some shots to show you. So this is where Charles Curtis, Vice President of the United States, 1929 to 1933. He's a son of the Kansa Nation. He was a Shawnee County attorney, U.S. Senator, Congressman, and State Senate Majority Leader. And this is their plot. I do not like to walk on other people's stones. There is some big flat ones here I do not want to walk on. And then here's Annie Bard Curtis, 1924, and here's Charles Curtis, 1936. So those are the husband and wife that died. This is their memorial. Here's an interesting mausoleum. This is the A.A. Hurd family, 1916. And I can see inside how it's set up. So there are 1, 2, 3 crypts on this side that are already used. There's 1 on this side, and there's 2 still remaining for family members. And this one just happens to have an open back window. Some of them have stained glass, which is really pretty. This is what one of the upright, without being in the hillside, this is what some of them are set up like. So this side and the other side, this is the Jewish part of the cemetery. And I know because I can see the Jewish stars, or I can tell by names. Silverman, Jacobson, Gartner, Nightingale, they have Jewish stars, like I said, or just the name is telling you that this is a Jewish family. Now I'm heading over to where the veterans are buried, and it said there was 250 veterans dating back from the wars starting in 1812 to present. And they have a large monument there that I'm going to look at and see what it says. Again, this road is terrible. It's not even a road. It's just a bunch of gravel that they're expecting you to drive on. Again, it is what it is. but I'm coming to the section over here and see all the tombstones for the veterans on my left. I found the Battle of the Blue monument. This is it right here. And I'm going to go up and see what it says. This is where the veterans are buried. It says this was erected in 1895. It was erected by G.G. Gage to the memory of his comrades who fell at the Battle of the Blue, October 22nd, 1864. By the blood of these heroes and their compatriots, this great republic was made to live. As I'm walking along, I see all the rows. There are these 5 brass urns. So these are from Vietnam. This one says, let's see, 1967. This one says 1969. This one says 1969, 1970, and 1971. So these are all veterans who died in the Vietnam War. This concludes my video on the Topeka Cemetery. I hope this has been interesting. I found it very interesting to see Mausoleum Row and all the different monuments and statues and the way they've outlined the cemetery to look very park-like. It's a beautiful way that they have honored their deceased people from the area. I give them a lot of credit since this is, again, not really funded by anybody. They do depend on perpetual care, sales of plots, and a small stipend from the city of Topeka, and they're doing a phenomenal job. So if you like this video, please give it a like, a share, a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Big City Girl, Small City Living. Bye.